Happy Monday, Bulldog fans, and welcome back to another weekly edition of Bullies Soccer Bites. As always, I'm here with Coach Armstrong. Coach, another Monday talk after another victory. How you feeling?
Great, Chris. You know, it was big 3 points for us. Definitely wasn't our best performance of the season in terms of style of soccer. It was a kind of choppy game at times, definitely a transitional game. But once again, the girls showed a ton of heart, ton of fight. Thought we defended really well and took the chances that we had. So another big 3 points at home. So we'll definitely take it and look to build on it this week.
Coach, anything in particular you look forward to? I know we talked about when you were at practice this week, training, you worked a lot with Monigo Carnley and Haley Bentel about maybe connecting some passes and creating some offense out of it. And it looked like they were able to translate that onto the field on Sunday.
Yeah, that was a focal point this past week, was definitely, getting a little bit more production in our attack, particularly in the final third. And Marcella had a little bit of an injury this week. So, Bentel and Monigo were the two that we worked the most closely with. And they had an unbelievable week of training. They were great friends off the field, and it was kind of like almost telepathic when they were on the field during practice the entire week. So we were excited to see how that worked out. And there was definitely moments in the game where they did combine, and clearly the most important being the second goal. It was a great hustle by Bentel to keep the ball alive, and perfect slot for MK to put herself in a great position to finish it, which she did. She did really well. So yeah, it was pleasing to see for sure, and they could have had a couple of others as well, I felt, during the course of the game.
Coach, let's talk about the front side of everything. Let's go back to the back line. You've got a great upperclassman back there, the back three. I know you play a 3-5-2 mostly, with the wings coming back sometimes, so it can shape up a little differently. But all the way back, you have a freshman who's been nothing short of outstanding 4 matches into the year. Do you have anything to say about your defense, your goalie?
Defending as a team is the most important part, and everybody does their job. The forwards, midfield players, and defenders, and the goalkeeper is a huge part of that. She's come up big when she's need to come up. If you watch her closely, it's not just the saves that she makes. It's her communication, it's her presence, it's her distribution, it's her tactical awareness of coming off her line to deal with any balls that get behind our back three. She provides confidence, but she's a really humble young lady, and if you talk to her, she'll tell you that the defenders are doing a great job. Well, everybody in front of her is doing a great job, and credit to her that she's doing what she has to do and encouraging those in front of her to do what they have to do. I thought yesterday was an unbelievable effort by our 2 holding midfield players, our 3 defenders, our goalkeeper, and also our wing backs, our wide midfield players. They did a phenomenal job against 2 really dangerous players, for LSU. So it was a group effort yesterday, but once again, Maddie Anderson playing like she's been here for a long time. So super proud of her, but super proud of the whole defensive team.
Speaking of the defensive team, 4 matches, 4 different lineups. And people who don't know, we're in the same office area. I can walk by. You guys are burning the midnight oil, Coach. How much is that attributed to your staff sitting in, putting in tireless hours, watching film and figuring out who's going to start for you, who's going to come off the bench for you? Because it seems like your staff is here early in the day, and then when I'm leaving, you guys are still in there watching film.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most important job for a head coach is to make sure that they assemble the right staff. And my staff is incredible. And if you ask any of my players, they love each and every single one of them. And their work ethic is phenomenal. Their knowledge of the game is phenomenal. What they do in training is phenomenal. How they break down opponents. I'm just blessed to have everybody. We got Kat Stratton, who's our volunteer, and only volunteer by name because she puts all of the hours in and does a ton of work, not just with our goalkeepers. And then obviously you got my assistants, Nick and Brian, take on different roles. Brian primarily deals with the opposition and getting the scouting report ready. And Nick and I kind of primarily focus on what we need to do to get better. And then we come together, as early as we can in the week to try and put the 2 pieces together. What the opposition is going to do, what challenges they may pose, what we need to try and look to exploit. And then we do it on the training field, and Nick takes a big role in that. And like I said, we have a lot of fun doing it. We spend a lot of time together, but we have a lot of good laughs as well. And I'm just blessed to have the staff that I have. They're phenomenal.
A pretty diverse staff. You've got an ex-head coach on it. You've got an ex-professional soccer player. Your volunteer assistant was an extremely successful player in the conference. Is there a lot of different ideas coming from a lot of different places? You kind of created an unorthodox staff. Nick Zimmerman came from D2 Columbus State, extremely successful. But when you're sitting in there, or when you try to hire someone and you have someone on your staff, is it people with similar viewpoints, or is it someone who are going to challenge your viewpoints?
They have to. So the one thing that we say as a staff is that everybody has to be comfortable to voice their own opinion, and we challenge each and every one of us, if you've got an opinion, like, why do you have that opinion? And we go around the room, and obviously there's a lot of discussion, a lot of strong opinions, and then we come together collectively and make a final decision. And once we make that final decision, it's a unanimous decision, and that's what we go with for that week. But like you said, watching Nick Zimmerman do training sessions, he's as good as anybody in the country. His tactical understanding of the game, his teaching of the game. Had the pleasure of coaching against Brian Dunleavy's Georgia Southern teams. They were always super organized, always, had a ton of fight about them. He has a great tactical awareness, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. And then, like you said, Kat Stratton, is a young coach, but she's so hungry. She's got great work ethic. She's always looking to improve, and she's very comfortable at voicing her own opinions herself, and they're respected in this room. So, it's definitely a challenging environment where we try and make sure that we're all making each other better every day, and it's a great environment to be a part of.
Coach, I know you're pretty humble, but looking at the results this year on top of last year's, it seems like in year 2 of you being able to be a head coach, you're ahead of schedule. First time in school history beating LSU at home. What are your thoughts on where you're at right now as a program at the halfway point in the season and halfway through year 2 for you as a head coach?
Oh, that's a great question, Chris. And the only reason why I say that is we've talked about it before, but we just go day to day, to be honest, and just look at the next game. And believe it or not, we don't really look at records. We just try to win as many games as we can, and if we do that, we'll be successful. The one thing that I will say that we're really proud of is the buy-in from the players, the culture. We're blessed to work with a really fun group that have got a great togetherness about them. They've responded unbelievably to a bunch of adversity. They don't look to make excuses. They look for next man up. Next person up, I should say, in this case. So the culture is really healthy. They enjoy being around each other. They want to get better. They're coachable. And I've already talked about the staff. They do a great job of making sure that we maximize every minute that we have with these players. And during these crazy times, I think records and everything else are great, but just to be able to play and enjoy the game that we love to play, that's the most important part right now. And trying to stay as healthy as we possibly can at this moment in time. But, the players are the ones, we always say this, that soccer's a player's game. Once they cross the white line, all the preparation from the week has been and done. So now it's up to them to enjoy it and go out and express themselves. And thankfully, that's what they're doing. And if you look at every game so far, there's been moments in every game where, it's been uncomfortable and how they've handled that. How they've handled those uncomfortable moments has been really impressive. So we're really proud of them so far.
Usually at this point in the season, if you're 4 matches in, it means you're kind of starting to wrap up the non-conference slate. Right now, you're halfway through the SEC season. You're already looking forward pretty close, about a month away from Orange Beach, a little bit less than that. So with that, has training changed at all? You really didn't have a full preseason playing those non-conference matches. Does training look the same this year as it does last year, or is it kind of adapting on the fly like everything else in life right now?
Yeah, it's adapting on the fly. It's great that we're only playing 1 game a week. But having said that, the players had a long time off, no real spring season. So you're going to get injuries and you're going to get, fatigue and everything else. So, we work closely with our medical staff to make sure that we're following the training loads that we need to look at. Each week's a little bit different, right? So last week we played Friday, and then we had to wait until Sunday, which seemed like an eternity. So you've got to make sure that you build in some extra off days into there to make sure that the players are not doing too much. And then, we go around and have a really quick turnaround. We played yesterday, Sunday, and now we've got to get ready to play on Friday. So every week's a little bit different. Every situation's a little bit different depending on number of bodies that you've got available. But the key is always trying to peak at the right time, which is obviously when the match kicks off on whatever day it is.
Looking forward to Friday. Match on the road, College Station against a perennial NCAA team in Texas A&M. Friday night, they don't just like their football down there on Friday nights. They love their soccer down there too. They've got a big old stadium, probably going to be over 1,000 fans there. A little different atmosphere than what you've been used to so far this year. Our fans have been awesome. What are you looking forward to in playing the Aggies on Friday night, Coach?
Yeah, like you said, it's a great place to go and play. If you're a competitive athlete, which all of our players are, that's the type of environment you want to play in. And you mentioned that our fans are as loud as any in the country. We couldn't do what we do without them. They were unbelievable again yesterday. So it's not like we've played in front of small, quiet crowds. We'll go to A&M and we'll expect a full house for the capacity that they're allowed. And we'll embrace it and we'll look forward to it. They're the moments that they'll remember as athletes, student athletes. So we're looking forward to that. And then, A&M's a great team, well coached. They've got a lot of great players in there, and they'll be athletic and everything else. So, we're looking forward to going down there and having the challenge of playing against a really good A&M team.
And for fans looking forward to watch that, we'll be on the SEC Digital Network Plus at 6:30 Central Time. So if you can get onto the network, find somewhere, get someone sign in. If you don't have your cable connection to that, it'll be a great match to watch. Coach, a lot of times, kind of off the preview reviews, walk around the office. I see you and your staff talking with other coaching staffs. I know outside of our office, you live near some football coaches. You'll go chop it up with some baseball coach here and there. When you talk to those coaches, are you trying to get information? I know you coach a different sport, but can you learn from other coaches in our department?
100%. We're blessed here at Mississippi State that we have the best coaches around, so just talking to them and trying to see what they're doing with their culture. You can learn anything from those guys. So we definitely look to see what information we can pick up and information that we can share from our end. Obviously, as coaches, they know what we're going through and the stresses of wins and losses and ties and all those kind of things. So how those coaches deal with that is fun to hear. But also we're a close-knit family here, right? And we all work in the same building, and we like to know how other sports are going on, and they support us and vice versa. So it's really fun. It's something that, that we embrace, and we have a great time doing it. So it's fun.
Coach, short week. Don't want to keep you on here too long so you can get back to your scheduling, your scouting of A&M. Do you have any final words before we go?
No, Chris, just appreciate all the fans again. They were unbelievable this past weekend, and looking forward to them tuning into the game on Friday, and looking forward to them being at our next home game against Missouri, which is actually on a Saturday, so Saturday evening. So that'll be a little bit different for all of us. But just thank you to everybody that made Sunday's game possible, and we appreciate them.
Same time, same place next Monday, Coach. Thanks for your time, and as always, Hail State.
Thanks, Chris. Hail State.